Hey y'all, how are you today? I hope you're wonderful. Just want to take a quick second and talk to you about another one of our Hayes Hills Kids 10 Commandments. Today we'll talk about the sixth commandment, which says, when a child acts out, handle it the right way, right away. Now, just as a reminder, all 10 of our Hayes Hills Kids 10 Commandments are summaries of the child protection policy, which you can find in full detail on our website on the elementary and preschool pages. Now, commandment number 6 deals with discipline. We are blessed with great kids here at Hayes Hills, but every once in a while, there's some acting out or behavior issues that do need to be dealt with. And so, how do we deal with that? And that's what this commandment is all about. We handle it the right way, right away. One thing that we know here at Hayes Hills and find very important is that parents are the primary disciplers of their children, as well as the primary discipliners of their children. Different parents have different philosophies on discipline, all of course rooted in raising their children in a fear of the Lord. But because different parents utilize different methods, at Hayes Hills Kids, we want to ensure that we can have a safe environment and an environment where everybody learns well together, but an environment that also respects different parents and their different views on discipline. So to handle a issue of misbehavior the right way, right away, at Hayes Hills, we use a 3-count system. If there's something that a child is doing that they shouldn't be doing, for example, talking in class when they should be listening to their teacher and therefore causing a disruption to the rest of the class, what we do is use the 3-count system, which consists of 3 warnings. So if the child is talking, we'll have the teacher go up to them and say, "Hey, Johnny, right now we should be listening because the teacher's talking. And so because you're not listening, you're being unkind and disruptive, there's your first warning." If I have to get all of the way to 3, then we're going to have to call Mr. Ethan and your parents in. Go back to teaching. Hopefully that handles the problem. If it persists, I'll go back for the second warning. "Hey, Johnny, you're continuing to talk, which is unkind and disruptive. We asked you not to a minute ago, and you are still. So here's your second warning. If we have to give you a third warning, we're going to have to get Mr. Ethan and your parents down here." Hopefully that handles it. And every time that we talk to the children, we want to make sure to tell them what it was that they were doing that was not great behavior. And we also want to help them understand what the right way to behave is. So if they're talking too much, we want to say, "Hey, please don't talk. Now is the time to listen." Hopefully that covers it. If for some reason it doesn't and the disruption and misbehavior continues, then we'll have the teacher say, "Hey, Johnny, I've given you 2 different warnings. Here's your third one. I'm going to have to get Mr. Ethan and your parents down here now." And we'll have the teacher call both you as the parent and me as the kids minister and explain to us the situation that's been going on. And if we get to a 3, we ask a child to take 1 week break from the event where they got a 3. So for instance, if they get a 3 in Bible Life, we ask them to have their parents go ahead and take them immediately, even if it's only in the middle of Bible Life, and then to take a 1 week break. But they're welcome to come to Wednesday night and any other events that we have. What we want to do in that is balance the fact that choices have consequences, and we want to teach kids that there are consequences for misbehaving. But at the same time, we don't want to keep them away from church or make them feel like they've been kicked out. And so we'll certainly welcome them back 1 week later and to the other events of Hayes Hills Kids during the week. We want to balance that need to help teach a child a good and important lesson in discipline while also having them remain an active part of our church life. So the 3-count system is how we handle an issue the right way, right away, by giving those warnings, by asking teachers not only to say, "Stop doing this," but to encourage them on the right way to behave, in the godly way to behave. And if the 3 happens, then just that immediate leaving of the event and a 1 week break from that event. One thing that is important, when I talk to our volunteers, I always ask them to make sure to pay attention to what's going on. Sometimes a child's going to willfully be disobedient, but other times there might be extenuating circumstances. And a child might be using some behavior that on the surface looks disobedient, but is maybe really them just trying to express emotional things. So for instance, if you have a child who's normally very well behaved and they're very upset, but you know that their parent serves in the military and has been deployed, and they're just really missing their parent right now. To really take that into account and to talk to the child. Maybe there's not so much a matter of willful misbehavior, but a matter of just missing a parent, and we need to have a moment of grace for that child. We want to think through those things, always be full of grace and discipline, balancing the needs of one child with the needs of the entire group. That's how we handle discipline here at Hayes Hills. And in my entire 3 years of being the kids minister, we've only had to go to 3 just a few times, less than 5. And the times that it happened, one was for biting and a couple were for punching. But those are very limited, less than once a year has that happened, and we're thankful for that. If you have any questions about this commandment or any others, feel free to shoot me an email, ethan@hayeshills.com. I would love to talk to you more about it. Have a great afternoon.